So I wake up and read. I read a lot of news online, different sectors, different things. So today, instead of giving y'all like little bite-sized videos, I decided to give y'all a mishmash of all of the news articles that I have read this morning. So here is that mishmash. Enjoy. Let me know what you think. And let me know which one of these stories hits home the most. Okay, this was an interesting article to stumble on. Hidden and bogus junk fees that can mask the total cost of concert tickets, hotel rooms, and utility bills may soon be no more. Now, this is something that both sides should get on board with. No matter how you vote, R or D, this should be something that's like, yay, let's go. The FTC on Wednesday proposed a rule to ban any hidden and bogus junk fees, which can mask the total cost of concert tickets, hotel rooms, and utility bills. President Joe Biden has made the removal of these fees a priority of his administration. The Democrats' effort has led to a legislative push and a spate of initiatives aimed at helping consumers. Administration officials have said that these additional costs can inflate the prices, and yes, they really do. I was definitely taken aback at some of these inflated fees. I hope that everybody gets on board with this. The proposed rule would prohibit corporations from running up the bills with hidden and bogus fees, requiring honest pricing and spurring firms to compete on honesty rather than deception. Violators will be subject to civil penalties and be required to pay back Americans that they tricked. The FTC proposal is being coupled with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau announcing that it will block large banks from charging junk fees to provide basic customer service. Biden plans to speak on both these plans on Wednesday from the Rose Garden. Lyle Brainerd, director of the White House National Economic Council, said research indicates that hidden fees can cause consumers to pay as much as 20% more than they had known the total upfront and comparison shop. The FTC estimates that consumers waste 50 million hours each year searching for the total price for tickets and lodging. The time saved in those two categories because of this rule would be equivalent to about $1 billion annually. But some business groups are skeptical because, yes, of course they're skeptical because they don't want people to know how much they're really charging. Okay, let me give you an example of what I found. One time I was searching for rooms at Wisconsin Dells. It's like you go to their website, it says 70% off all rooms. Book now. Okay, cool. Let's put it. Okay, $39.99 if I pay this right now for 2 beds. $39.99 right now. This is October numbers though. When you get to the bottom for 1 day, it's $39.99 plus taxes and fees. This is a hyperlink. Taxes and fees for $45.30. What kind of taxes are those? So the total for 1 day comes to $85.29. So when you click the hyperlink, there is a resort fee. I didn't know anything about a resort fee. The resort fee is almost identical to the daily rate. Now, had they just told people what the daily rate was and been honest about it, that it cost about $80 a day to come to Wisconsin Dells in October, cool. But what they did was they hid this. You have to click the hyperlink to see what totals up to $45.03. And the resort fee is a daily fee. So I put in for 3 days, and the average night, if you put in for 3 days, is $36.66. But the resort fee is $107.97. So it brings your total to $244.63. This is something that people really need to be aware of, and where these companies are being deceptive. So I appreciate if this administration makes these people be more transparent about the cost of things, because paying the same amount basically for the resort fee versus just telling people, that could definitely save you some time and energy and wondering how my bill went from, thinking that I'm going to pay $40 a night to basically being double that. You guys let me know what you think about this. Like, comment, share. Something is in the water. What the discontent, the malcontent that is bubbling under the surface is coming up, because all of these industries that are going on strike, and it's just daily what we're seeing. People are finally fed up with not having enough money to do basic stuff. So, why Walgreens pharmacy workers are walking off the job? Let's get into this one. Pharmacy staff at Walgreens locations across the country called out of work on Monday to protest harsh working conditions, leaving some stores closed or critically understaffed. Organizers told CNN that hundreds of workers participated in the organized action, which is expected to last through Wednesday. The walkouts come just 2 weeks after dozens of pharmacy employees at CVS, America's largest retail pharmacy chain, walked off the job in Kansas City. Here's what pharmacy workers are fighting for: patient safety. Monday's walkout wasn't easy for Walgreens employees. Employees understood that they could be leaving customers without immediate access to some medications and that they were canceling long scheduled vaccination appointments. But this was their last resort option, workers told CNN. They said increased demand for prescriptions, shots, and other services without sufficient staff to fulfill the orders made it nearly impossible to do their jobs properly. And basically, they made their jobs unsafe and unsafe for the patients. They didn't feel confident they could provide the care in a safe environment, said Michael Hogue, CEO of American Pharmacists Association, who traveled to Kansas City to meet with CVS executives, Walgreens leadership, and walkout organizers last week. A 2022 National Community Pharmacists Association survey showed that nearly 75% of respondents felt they did not have enough time to safely perform clinical duties and patient care. Doesn't that sound exactly like what the nurses are saying? Stores often operate with just one pharmacist behind the counter for a 12-hour shift. Nurses also talk about patient overload and doing way too much. Pharmacists are so overwhelmed and worried they're going to make a mistake. It's so easy to make a mistake under those conditions. In a statement, CVS acknowledged stores and healthcare industry overall are understaffed. CVS says it has taken measures to ensure appropriate staffing levels in stores, and the company said it's developing an action plan to improve patient care. One Walgreens technician told CNN they now spend their entire day in the shot room jabbing arms. That's one thing that is driving us absolutely bonkers. The fact that management cares way more about us giving vaccines than anything else. The technician is the only immunizer on staff and earns less than $20 an hour. More staff and better pay. That's also what they are asking for. There are currently about 30,000 open retail pharmacy technician positions in the United States and 7,500 pharmacist positions. Part of the pharmacy technician pay is abysmal. Pay folks. Like I said, this all starts to sound the exact same because these corporations do not want to pay people a fair wage for what they are asking for. And they are purposely keeping these job positions open. And they're doing it because they are paying people pennies when they need to be paying more for the amount of duties that they're giving. And some say pharmacy technicians are making minimum wage, and it's a very stressful environment. That means young people don't see pharmacy tech as a viable career path, and turnover is high. The problem isn't lack of pharmacists. Pharmacy schools have expanded rapidly over the past few years, producing plenty of new graduates. Plus, a recent posting for a pharmacist role at a VA hospital in Kansas brought about 700 applications. The problem, she said, is that many pharmacists don't want to work for a retail pharmacy. So if you are, and this is another thing, we have got to start making sure that we are keeping our health stay as healthy as we can. I do understand that life happens because everything is in flux. The medical industry is in flux. The pharmacy community is in flux. If you need medicine and your stuff is being sent to CVS or Walgreens, these people are overworked. Even if they are at work right now, they are being overworked. Whew, that's just where we are right now. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this one, and if you have any thoughts on all of these industries bubbling up and showing their malcontent at one time. Like, comment, share. Okay, so lots of industries are striking. People are saying, I can't afford a house and a kid, so we're going to forego having kids. There's just so much going on. So we might as well talk about house prices. Home prices have soared so much that 98 out of 100 biggest U.S. cities are overvalued relative to historical levels. So obviously, we are inching towards another housing bubble bursting. It's just going to happen. Things are just getting out of it. It's out of pocket. People cannot afford to live somewhere if these prices keep going up. And all of these workers striking tell y'all that we are not making enough money to even be able to do basic life stuff. Okay, so the bullet points of this article: homes in 98 of the 100 largest U.S. markets sold above their historical norms. Affordability remains strained as the supply of homes for sale stays low. Folks are just not selling their homes right now. Just two of the largest metros are seeing homes priced at a discount. Let's get into the rest of the article. The August analysis from Florida Atlantic University and Florida International University researchers showed that the vast majority of metros are now considered overvalued based on historical price trends, with only two of them selling at a discount. Among the 10 markets where homes were selling at the highest above their historical average were in Florida. Cape Coral, Florida led the way with homes they're selling at 48% premium compared to historical norms. Atlanta, Georgia, Tampa, Florida, Palm Bay, Florida followed with premiums up 45.7%, about 43%, and another about 43%, respectively. In Cape Coral, the researchers listed expected price for a typical home at $271,000. However, the average price of homes in that area are selling over $400,000. The housing market is plagued by low inventory, mortgage rates above 20-year highs, and soaring home prices. Conventional wisdom suggests that raising rates should lead to a falling price. That hasn't happened. Now, many Americans are willing to move homes or buy a home due to high mortgage rates, which keeps potential buyers and sellers off the market. So it's too high. People can't sell because other folks can't buy. It's just common sense. And yeah, something has got to give. And what it's going to end up giving is just going to burst because these prices are not real. Regular folks should not be paying $400,000 for a regular home. Meanwhile, the share of consumers who think now is a good time to buy dropped to an all-time low. Mortgage rates persistently above 7% appear to be deepening the malaise consumers feel about the home purchase market. In fact, high mortgage rates surpassed high home prices as the top reason why consumers think it's a bad time to buy a home. The average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is hovering around 7.62. All right, so let's wrap this up. Homes are too expensive. People are not making enough money. Birth rates are declining. Yeah, I mean, just seems like a perfect, it's just a whole lot going on right now in the United States and globally. Y'all jump in with your thoughts. So home prices are ridiculous, and so is real estate, office real estate. So let's look at what's going on with the office real estate prices. The commercial real estate market is headed for a severe collapse due in large part to sky-high interest rates and declining property values. So it just seems like everything is coming to a head at once. Home prices are ridiculous. Office real estate is ridiculous. Employees are upset. They're trying to bring folks from work from home back into the office. It's just a whole cluster F of major proportions. When asked when they believe the price of office properties will hit bottom, 44% said they expect that to happen in the second half of the year, while 22% said it will be in the first 6 months of next year. Just 6% of the 919 respondents said that prices would bottom out this year, while 29% predict that it will happen after 2025. The Fed has raised interest rates aggressively, which is increasing the cost of financing commercial properties at a time when there is also a reduced need for them because people want to work from home. Investors are bracing for a possible crisis triggered by default on $1.5 trillion in debt that is coming due by the end of 2025. Some $270 billion in commercial real estate loans held by banks are set to mature by the end of this year. Over the next 4 years, commercial real estate properties must pay off debt maturities that will peak at $550 billion in 2027. This is the reason why they want you in the office. They want y'all coming in They want this stuff to go, to be used. In New York City, the vacancy rate is 22%. Office buildings in New York City, the world's largest commercial real estate market, has lost, wow, they've lost $76 billion, y'all. 76 billion in value from their most recent sales prices. Man, y'all, if you guys are not paying attention to everything that is going on in the economy, things are about to get bad. Even if you don't understand what is going on, it is bad for just everybody. Real estate firm Cushman and Wakefield recently predicted that there could be 1 billion square feet of unused office space in the US by 2030. So they have really built this stuff up. There's a housing shortage, but there is not a shortage of office space. And so these people have just been building, and they haven't been building enough affordable houses. So all of this is planning miscues, or just not pricing things properly. I don't know, but life is going to be turned on its head for somebody, probably the poorer folks, because it's either really rich or poor folks. There's no middle class anymore. There's no real in between. The New York Fed said earlier this year it was unclear when or if the commercial real estate sector would return to its prior strength. While the residential rental market has bounced back, the retail and office markets have remained slack due to the shift in the remote work and online shopping. I don't know who is bounced back for, but I know that little folks are being squeezed. Renters are being squeezed, and it's overwhelming people that rents are getting kind of out of control. Anyways, that is what's going on with the commercial real estate market. You guys go ahead and jump in with your thoughts.